Hello everyone, it's Lisa from Arcane Stellar, and I've got a pick a deck reading for you. So I'm outside today and I thought it'd be nice to do a quick little video of messages from Spirit, things that you need to know right now. I'm going to be live shuffling, okay? So I'll try to make timestamps so that you guys don't have to deal with all the shuffling. If you don't want to, that's fine. So we have piles 1, or deck 1, deck 2, deck 3. So take some time, concentrate, take some deep breaths, and see which deck draws you in, and go find what your message is, okay? See you there. Okay, so I'm just going to move these to the side. Up here, I've got my microphone. I wanted to make sure the wind kicks up sometimes, so I'm hoping that it doesn't really affect the microphone too badly. So we've got stone here. This stone is apatite. Okay, so many of you might know it because I use it all the time in my pick of cards. So let's see. Those that are drawn to pile 1, to deck 1, what message they need to hear right now, Spirit? What message do they need to hear right now? Definitely feel like that's one. Okay. Definitely feeling a sense of lack for you guys that you're feeling. This could be a lack of finances, a lack of good physical health. It could be both. It could feel like somehow you don't belong in the world. There could be feelings of not really knowing what you're doing. Let's see, what do they need to know? Oh, but see, look, I feel like those of you that are in that type of situation where you're feeling like you're lacking, I feel like there's so much better coming for you, and you just got to keep on keeping on is what I feel like the message is here with the 9 of Pentacles, that you have a lot of beauty within you, you have a lot of opportunities coming for you, and that this is just temporary. Whatever times you're going through are just temporary. You're going to come out on top for sure. Let's see what else we have. If there have been situations like group situations or work situations, again, there is a message here for you that for some of you, let me just get one more card. I want to clarify this before I speak too much. Pentacles, what do they need to know about this 3 of Pentacles? Okay. Yeah, I feel like you guys are going to have some new opportunity is what it is. I would definitely socialize with people, get to know new people. For some of you, if you've been wanting to go back to school or to learn something new, this is telling you that, especially if maybe you felt like you couldn't or you shouldn't, or maybe it's not a good idea, this is Spirit's confirmation that it is a good idea, that you should go for it, that it will bring you prosperity. Again, learning from others. Maybe there's a specific course you'd like to take or something that you've been really dying to learn. Whether it's, like Reikis or Reikis, I can't believe I just said that. Reiki, or like crystals or astrology or something. If you've been wanting to dig in and take a course, this is a good time too. It's also a good time for teamwork. Looking to others for, help. And helping guide you perhaps in some way, finding a mentor. But I do feel like many of you could be receiving some kind of recognition for things. If you've been really working hard on something and you feel like you haven't gone anywhere with it, like maybe you've made like a YouTube channel, for instance, or something, you've been working on some kind of project and you feel like, man, it hasn't brought me anything. And like, should I even be doing this? Like, nobody's watching it, nobody cares. And what Spirit's telling you is to keep going, because it will bring you some abundance. Again, there might be a need to network for some of you. If it's a YouTube channel, hit me up. I'm always ready to share like as much as I can with anybody if you need some help. Okay, that's just for some of you, if that's something that you're going through. I'm always willing to give some advice, or to share a link. We have follow your intuition. Why are my cards all mixed up? So you are meant to intuitively, if you've been having some messages about your career, about your it's really about your physical life, right? Because we have all pentacles showing up here. So this is really about the tangible things in your life, your career, your health, your body, relationships, and maybe where you live with someone, roommate situations, really anything of that nature. If there have been some intuitive feelings that you've been having, you need to follow them, okay? Because I feel like some of your feelings are being shoved down, okay, by a mask. Like you might be masking what you really truly want. And this isn't what you need to be doing. Wow. Those just totally flew. Be right back. Look at what flew. The 11th house flew. So for some of you, this could be community activities. If you've been feeling like making a community or really putting yourself out there online. Again, if you already have put yourself out there online and you haven't really felt the results. Also, the 11th house talks about our hopes, our gains in life, financial gains, our hopes and dreams. Keep working at them. Don't try to hide them for other people. If you're shy to speak up about your dreams, or you're kind of like, you're not sure what people would think if you changed directions, you have a support group out there with that 3 of Pentacles. You have people out there that can be supportive to you, that can really boost your spirits and help you out. Perhaps even teach you or mentor you. Let me see, I'm going to get one more card. What does pile number 1 need to know, Spirit? Yeah, and the 11th house is about finding people with common goals, friendships. I feel like they're out there. Really stable, long-lasting friendships with a lot of potential that could feed you a lot of positive ideas and support. You just have to trust it and understand that it's coming towards you. And again, when you manifest, by the way, don't manifest from a place of lack. Manifest from a place of knowing that you can have it. Okay, you might think that you're manifesting, but deep down you have a lack mentality somewhere that tells you can't deserve something, you don't deserve it, you can't have it, it's not possible. Again, find people, expanders in your life that could maybe expand you in your beliefs and give you better self-worth in some way. Maybe they could feed your self-worth a little bit to encourage you. Yeah, so that's what I feel for you guys the most right now. I hope that this is a message that you needed to hear. If not, maybe one of the other piles has a message for you, but I'd love to hear back in the comments and let me know what you thought. Sorry about the flying cards, but it is really nice to film out in nature. I really like it. So take care, guys. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you can do that by going down in the description box. There's a link to my Etsy store, as well as a link to my Amazon wish list. It's starting to pick up the wind, so I will stop here. Hello guys, so if you chose pile number 2 or deck number 2 with the Celestite, this is your reading. The sun's kind of starting to shine right on me. So, here comes the sun. Do 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 do. I love that song. So, let's see. What message does pile number 2 need to know? Those that choose pile number 2, Spirit, what message do they need to know right now? Boop, we got one flying. 7 of Cups. So there could be a lot of decisions to be made, or a lot of options. Maybe you have some different ways in which to go. You're not quite sure. There could be something that's a little bit confusing to you. And we have the 7 of Wands. So perhaps you have a lot of people throwing different ideas or opinions at you about what you should be doing. And it's making you quite nervous. Let's see. What's your advice, Spirit, for the situation? Okay, I feel like with this pile, what we're getting is that, again, there's a 7 of Cups element here, along with the 7 of Wands. So there's for some of you, this could be showing up, like I said, as people trying to, maybe you have a lot of different options, and maybe in some way you feel like there's a lack of time left. For some of you, like the clock is ticking and you got to make a decision, but you just don't know how to go about it. For some of you, you could just feel a lot of opposition from different things in your life. It doesn't even have to be people. Maybe it's that type of thing where it's like you just have anxiety and like somehow you just feel like you can't get everything done that you want to. Maybe it's like when you're trying to do something, things pop up and it just seems to ruin your progress. So you end up in kind of a state of not really moving anywhere or going forward in any way. What I'm seeing here with the 4 of Wands is that for those of you where maybe you feel opposition from other people, you have to choose in the end what makes you the happiest, what makes you feel the most stable, and you kind of have to ignore those other people if that's the case. I want to get a little bit more information here. What does pile number 2 need to know right now, Spirit? So Chiron, we have some healing going on. A flow and opposition. Okay, so for some of you, this could be trying to find a flow within yourself. Okay, even when you have opposition against you, maybe in some way you have something to heal within you that you have anxiety maybe about what other people think or what the right decision is. Maybe you feel like once you choose one thing, you can't ever have anything else. Okay, that could be coming from something deep within you that feels like there's only, maybe that you can only do one thing, or that you have to do something that somebody wants. Again, there's some kind of seesaw going on within you, inside of your heart, where things, it's like you can maybe are up and down, or you don't. It's like, do you listen to others? Do you listen to yourself? Do you listen to others? Do you listen to yourself? There could be some of that there. And what you're being guided to know is, to find a flow within yourself. But let's see some more so we can figure out kind of how could you achieve this flow, okay? Because it's easy to say, not easy to do all the time, right? Because I've had that situation myself. So let's see here. What's some advice for those that chose deck number 2? Time for a nap. Okay, it might be time for you to just take a break from people and not get yourself worked up. If you are getting really anxious, you know what my dad always told me? I would be sometimes a little bit of a crybaby when I was younger, and he would say, if I was getting too emotional, he'd always tell me, Elizabeth, go take a nap. And you know what? I'm 35. I still follow that advice. Honestly, when I'm feeling too emotional and I get too worked up, one of the best things for me is actually just to take a stinking nap, because usually it means I'm tired. But again, that could just be taking a break from people that do make you feel that pressure. If there's people around you that make you feel pressure to do certain things, or you feel like there's a lot of opposition, it might be time to take a break from those people. Again, not overthinking. Don't let yourself overthink this. And one of the ways you could do that is by taking a break from it. Because I feel like a lot of these are, with it, round and round really does remind me of the Nine of Swords in some way, because the Nine of Swords to me is like when those, thoughts just circulate in your head and you just can't get out of them. And no matter what you try to do, it just kind of like keeps going and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny of anxiety. And so it's kind of like stop overthinking it. And we have be flexible, right? So flexibility is important here. Understanding that, I feel like for some of you, this is a message that some of you are too flexible for other people. That you're bending over backwards for people that really probably don't deserve it in some way. And it could be a message for you, especially for those of you that are in that situation where maybe you feel like you have a lot of opposition against you. It's telling you to, not to bend to other people's will so much. Not to overthink what they're going to think, or what they're going to feel, or what they're going to say to you if you choose something. If you follow, for instance, your dreams with the Seven of Cups, that can represent fantasies and dreams. Maybe you feel like some of them are unrealistic, that there's no fighting chance for you. Again, that could be a thing to stop overthinking it. Stop getting yourself in these negative cycles. I'm sorry, I'm going to put my hands down because the cards will go flying. But also to be more flexible with yourself, realize that you have more ability in you than you might realize. Do you know what I mean? In terms of achieving the things that you want. And again, not having rigid expectations for how life goes. If you think, I used to have this thing. It was like, I need to write a book before I'm 30. And then like after 30, I was like, I can't do it anymore because now I won't be a young author. Do you know what I mean? So there might be some way in your life where that's kind of resonating with you, where you feel like there's not enough time, or if you do this thing, you can't do that thing. Again, be flexible and realize, even with our life purpose, you might have different things that you want to do, different things you want to achieve. The thing is that we have a lot of years to live, hopefully. I'm blessing you with that, hopefully, sending you the vibes for that. And there are so many different things you can do. And you can start something really at any time. There's no time limit. There's nothing. My grandma, she didn't start painting until she was like 40s. And she became a really wonderful artist. She leads China painting, like porcelain painting classes and stuff like that. She learned from Bob Ross in her living room, okay? And she was in her 40s. So, I mean, it's really any age to do anything. Don't feel like life has to be something rigid, okay? So I know there are a few different messages in there. I really hope that for some of you that could have helped you in some way, giving you some insight into some kind of maybe current thing that you're going through. And I'm wishing you all the very best and lots of happiness, good health, and for you and your loved ones. And if you want a personal reading with me, that information's all down in the description box below. You can go down And you can purchase a reading on Etsy, or I have my Amazon wish list. As many of you know already, anybody who gets something off my Amazon wish list always gets a reading as a thank you. So just be sure, if you choose that option, to leave an email or an Instagram so I can get a hold of you in the gift note. Okay? So take care, guys, and see you next time. Hey guys, so you chose pile number 3 with this green calcite. This is your reading. I hope you guys don't mind the outside atmosphere. The wind's dying down. The first pile, poor thing, those poor things had to deal with some wind at the end. It blew my cards all over the place, but it's all better now. So guys, let's see. What does pile... Oh, here it comes again. Oh Lord. Okay. Yeah, it kind of kicks up here and there. So let's see. Spirit, what? Well, I'm seeing some anxiety. Oops. There's no words we need to know right now, Spirit. There's no words we need to know right now. I definitely see some anxiety about moving forward. For some of you, you might be waiting for a message. Yes, for some of you, you might be waiting for either a soulmate to come into your life, or a partner in some way, some romantic interest. You might be waiting anxiously for a message from somebody, okay, to come in. You might be also waiting anxiously for a choice, a decision of some kind. Like maybe, some of you could be waiting for, like for instance, like a... Sorry, my husband is sitting far away and he's looking at me right now and he stuck his tongue out at me rude. So you might be waiting for, like, for instance, like to hear back from like a university, for instance, or to hear back about some important decision. But for many of you, I do feel like this is like a love connection. You really either want to find that right now, or you want to, hear back from somebody. And I really do feel like you're in a very anxious headspace right now about this. You're kind of tormented a bit about moving forward in your life, in your love life, perhaps. Like I said, I think it's going to resonate a little bit differently. So apply it as it resonates. But with the Judgment card, I do feel like something's coming. And what Spirit wants you to know is that when this happens, you'll know. And I do feel like that if you're waiting for someone to have kind of an epiphany, that could be coming. If you've been waiting for them to kind of wake up to a connection, this could be actually really coming for you, where this person kind of sees the connection in a whole new light. This could be wanting to go to the next level as well. So maybe if you're in a connection and you've been waiting for it to move from maybe like just from a sexual relationship to something more robust and stable, I guess you could say. This is, I think, something that's coming for you guys. Okay? So let me see. What else do they need to know? Spirit. We have the Queen of Wands coming out. So, okay, I feel like some of you are quite impatient about this. We have the Wands energy coming out, the Queen of Wands, the Eight of Wands. You might be really eager for this to happen. You might be feeling like it needs to happen yesterday, and I'm ready for this to happen, and where are they, and what's happening, and it might be telling you to kind of wait for the right timing. I know that that is an annoying message. I hate that. I'm an Aries, so yeah, I don't like waiting for the right timing. I want its timing to happen right now. But unfortunately, that's not always how the world works. Let's see. What other things do they need to know about this? Earth. You utilize logic, reason, and common sense. With Earth energy, it's a bit slow. It might be something that needs to materialize still in you could be dealing with an earth sign, so this could be some fire people, or an earth sign dealing with a fire there could be some elements of this, but again, it doesn't have to be. It just could be that you need to be a bit more patient about this situation, and not expect it to happen on your timeline always, or on your time schedule. If you're waiting for someone to come back, it might be that there are just other things that are in the way right now. Practical things that have to happen. For some of you, again, with the utilize logic, reason, and common sense, try to look at it from a different perspective. sometimes when I've been impatient in the past, you know, I try to think, okay, what could be the reasoning behind this and stuff like that, and just try to get to a more pull back a little bit and think about it in a different light, I guess. We have Aquarius. Let's see. Whoop. And Pluto. Okay, so yeah. Aquarius is a more, Aquarius is associated with the 11th house, right, and Uranus. So again, I do feel like when this happens, it's going to be perhaps a shock to you, okay? It also lets you know to just kind of be free. Aquarius is a very free-loving sign, I would say, in my opinion. So understanding that it's going to probably come to you like this message that you're waiting for, this reply or this decision. It's going to come when you kind of least expect it. And I feel like with Pluto, whatever this is that you're waiting for, it's got really deep meaning. It's really going to bring a lot to your life. It's going to be kind of earth-shattering is what I'm getting here. Earth, Pluto, Aquarius. The realization and like the connection or the message, it's somehow going to really take you to a different place. And sometimes you can't force that. You know, that song comes to me, You Can't Hurry Love by the Supremes. I'm not going to sing it because that would be sad for you guys, but again, too, this could be about goals. If it's not about love, it's about maybe making the right decision. Maybe you don't know where you're going in life and you're waiting for that like passion to kick in and tell you which way to go, which decision to make. Maybe, but again, here it does say you can't go back to yesterday, be in the present. So again, if there's some stuff from the past that you're still stressing about, again, I think this could work for the future as well. If you're obsessed about the future or the past, remember that you can't really change it. You just got to kind of live in the moment. Let's see, some advice for pile number 3. We got one. Curiouser and curiouser. So discovery, inquiry, weirdness, and curiosity. Some of you might be wanting to... I feel like there's a specific message for some of you. If you guys are thinking about doing something a little bit different or experimental, I feel like you should go for it, okay? So if you've been thinking about doing something a little bit differently in your life, something a little bit quirkier than the norm, I would say go for it. You're being guided by spirit to go for it, to do that thing, whatever it could be. Okay, so whether it's a certain project or something that maybe feels a little bit different than what other people are doing, there's definitely a specific message here for some of you that you should really definitely go for that. Let's see. What messages do we have for pile number 3? Whoop. Let's see here. Energy. And organization. Okay, so some of you might have a message here to take some of your extra energy. Like, you know, the energy you kind of are putting into stress and taking time to organize your life in some way and get ready for these big changes. Because I do feel like once you kind of put your mind elsewhere, that's when it's going to hit you. It's going to be like, wham, bam, and thank you, ma'am. And it's going to just come and hit you. So again, in this time frame, you could start getting organized, saving up your money for this, or you know, just kind of taking care of your life in whichever way it needs to be taken care of. Because I feel like, again, this thing's going to kind of hit you out of nowhere, like the Judgment. It'll be kind of like, because we have that Judgment and we have Aquarius, so I really feel like it's going to be like quite unexpected per se, is what I want to say. So that is what I've got for you guys that chose deck number 3. I hope that there were some messages in there for you. If there were, let me know in the comments below if it somehow resonated with you. I'm reading for a lot of people, so of course it's going to probably, you know, resonate a little bit differently with different people, but let me know how it resonates to you. And if it didn't, maybe try another pile. There were different messages in each pile. I think each pile had their own thing kind of going on a little bit. But yeah, if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you can do that by going down in the description box below. There's a link to my Etsy store where you can purchase a personal video reading. And then as well, there's links to my Amazon wish list. Anybody who gets something off my Amazon wish list, I have 2 of them, always gets a reading as a thank you. Sorry, it's starting to fly. Anyways, so I will see you all next time. I'm going to turn this off so I can save my cards before they all fly away. Take